No DQ Galaxy, we are live with a recap of AEW Dynamite for Wednesday, November 16th, 2022. This Saturday, Jon Moxley wasn't sure if it was Saturday or Sunday, but it is in fact this Saturday. We have AEW Full Gear on pay-per-view. Shout out to the early birds. Ken terminates DQ. Dustin Herrick, D. Martin Fifth, Jacob Alfred, David Scheffler, Michael Wayne, Randy Engel, Joey Perez, the Robo Buck, Gomer Kyle, Calvin Bowman, Don Bowen, Nick Glavin. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Let's get into this Dynamite recap. We kicked off the show with a tag team match. Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara of the JAS, the Jericho Appreciation Society, versus Claudio and Bryan Danielson. A brawl erupted right from the get-go. Claudio and Bryan did some stereo elbows. Claudio hit a delayed vertical suplex to Guevara, but then after Bryan tagged in, Guevara started targeting the eye of Bryan, the eye that he went after last week that was busted open. Jericho used his baseball bat, Floyd, while the referee was distracted. Jericho and Guevara hit Bryan with a double suplex. Claudio eventually tagged back in. Sammy Guevara prevented the big swing from happening, and then Jericho put on the walls of Jericho, but Bryan broke that up. Bryan and Guevara went at it again. Guevara once again targeting the eye. Bryan put on the label lock. Guevara got to the rope, and then Guevara hit a cutter off the ropes. Then Jericho hit the lion salt, but Claudio came in, broke up the pin. Claudio finally got his big swing on Jericho, and then he grabbed the baseball bat, kept the bat on him as he applied the sharpshooter, and Chris Jericho tapped out to Claudio. Claudio gets some momentum heading into Full Gear. Good opening match here. I am very confident now with my prediction. I was before, but now even more so. I expect Chris Jericho to retain his championship on Saturday. That is the hot prediction. Jericho retains on Saturday. We had a Darby Allin and Sting vignette. They were driving a car. Darby Allin was in a body bag, and Sting said it's showtime at Full Gear. Then we had a backstage promo with Double J and Jay Lethal's crew. Jarrett said that this will be Sting's last time, which I'm guessing will not, in fact, be the case. We then had the Acclaimed come down to the ring, usual rap promo. And then we had the world premiere of the Acclaim's new music video. And we got a Big Show appearance as Captain Insano from The Waterboy. He finally got to play that character again in this video package. We had two guys dressed up like Swerve in Our Glory. The Acclaimed were rapping on the beach. It was a fun little music video. I enjoyed it. Then we had Anthony Bowens versus Swerve. Billy Gunn ran down there trying to get a piece of Swerve. Order had to be restored, and then we had our match, which was pretty basic. I mean, it was very one-sided. It was mostly Swerve dominating this match. He threw Bowens over the barricade, and Bowens kicked out of several moves, but eventually, after targeting the shoulder, Bowens managed to pick up the 1-2-3 victory. Swerve won. Swerve finished off Bowens, I should say. Bowens did kick out of the Swerve stop, though, so He did take a beating and kicked out of a few things, but in the end, Swerve picked up the victory. I definitely feel more confident with my prediction from Tuesday night. I do expect the Acclaimed to retain the titles at Full Gear this Saturday. Then we had Samoa Joe interviewed in the ring by Tony Schiavone. Crowd was chanting for Wardlow. Joe said that Wardlow was running his mouth too much and failed to recognize that the most dangerous man in the ring failed to recognize him, which was in fact Joe, not Ken Shamrock. Joe said he is not going to be a victim like most of the people. So I guess this is in fact a heel turn for Samoa Joe when he starts insulting the people. Will Hobbs arrived, said that he's been the one kicking Wardlow's ass and now he's going to kick Joe's ass. Wardlow then showed up, sneak attack to Samoa Joe, but then Hobbs got in the ring. Wrestlers ran down. We had the big pull apart brawl, which did get the crowd pop. It always pops the crowd. Wardlow then did a big dive to the outside onto a big pack of like 10 people. They needed the pull apart brawl though for this week because Bridgeport, Connecticut was not one of the better AEW crowds. If anything, this was one of the weakest crowds in AEW history. They were very quiet for this show. You did have a few wrestlers that went out there and really busted their asses, and the crowd did react to them. But overall, it was a struggle for people to get a reaction on this show. You had Top Flight. Darius Martin is back, teaming up with his brother Dante against Death Triangle. Their partner was AR Fox. I believe this was a trios match. And what does AR Fox stand for? All right. Always ready. Aaron Rift. You got me. But anyways, Fox looked very impressive here. Apparently he's like a 15-year veteran. I never heard of the guy. That's crazy. He got a lot of impressive offense and he did some crazy stuff in this match. And like I said, he was busting his ass in this match and he did get the crowd to chant, "This is awesome." He did this dive, which was absolutely insane. And then he hit a 450 to Phoenix, but the pin was broken up. And eventually Death Triangle got the win. Fear Factor to Fox. And then Pac hit the Black Arrow to pick up the win. Darren G with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Darren. I appreciate it. Says, no DQ Galaxy, Darren G has arrived, and share this on social media and say yes to no DQ. I appreciate that very much, Darren G. And again, if you guys enjoy the videos, spread the word. Tell a friend on social media. Tag somebody. Tag your wrestling friends on social media and have them check out this video. Darren G doing the shtick tonight because Walter is not doing it. So there you go. Hashtag stick to Darren G's shtick. Now, after the match, we had perhaps the biggest story of the show, although not really a big surprise or anything. So afterwards, Death Triangle cut this promo, and they basically called out these guys that have been teasing a return. Pac was like, we're not stupid. We know what's going on here. We've heard the rumors, and if they think they can come back and beat the Death Triangle, that is ridiculous. Pac said, bring the heat on Saturday. He called out these guys, and we had the big screen with the graphic and the reveal. The Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are officially back. No surprise here. We pretty much expected it. They will be at Full Gear, and the Death Triangle said they will be waiting for them. Anyone else think that this was a little underwhelming? Like, I thought maybe they would show up in front of the live crowd and like clean house or do something, but I guess we have to wait till Saturday to see them. It just felt a little lackluster, in my opinion. I think they should have appeared in front of the fans. Did not really have that energy or atmosphere for certain returns. And Michael Wayne is like, the Bray Wyatt segment better than the Elite vignette. Well, I mean, Bray Wyatt was also gone for a year, but I mean, different scenario here. The Elite were gone for a couple months, but I do feel like there should have been a bigger pomp and circumstance for this. It just felt underwhelming. We then had Britt Baker backstage cutting a promo for her match against Saraya this coming Saturday. And Britt Baker said that she has become the face in 3 years and she became a leader after being in AEW since the beginning. She said she took the opportunity and ran with it. And yes, it's true. She did not wrestle in Madison Square Garden, but she wrestled in Daly's Place when the fans could not be there during the darkest time in AEW. Something that Saraya, I'm just going to call her Paige. I'm tired of screwing it up. I can never get it right, so I'm calling her Paige from now on. Something that Paige would not know. Wrestling with no people in the audience. Britt said that she respects Paige, how Paige paved the ground, but the business owes her nothing. The business has moved on, and Britt said that not only is she the heart of AEW, but she is the pulse of AEW. This was a hell of a promo from Britt Baker. I can't even pronounce her name now. It's like I can't pronounce anybody's name. What is going on here? Britt Baker and Saraya this Saturday at Full Gear. It is a mouthful, but I did say it. Great promo from her, although I thought she was a heel. Last time I checked, she was a heel. And this was a very babyface promo from Britt Baker. Maybe they're going to go in a different direction. Maybe Paige is going to be the heel and be the outsider and Britt Baker goes babyface. I don't know. It was an interesting promo, but wasn't the kind of promo that a heel would cut 6 days or 5 days or 3 days. It's actually 3 days. I'm so used to Raw being the go-home show and 6 days before pay-per-view. That's been the way it's been for 20 years. So, yeah, 3 days away before Full Gear. Interesting, for sure. And Walter Cruz sent in a $5 super chat, says, Darren G, this is how it's done. What's up, No DQ Galaxy? Click, like, share this video. Hashtag stick to my shtick. Also, opposite of HBK, get the hands on the merchandise. Very well said there, Walter Cruz. Thank you for that super chat. Let me know, chat room, what you thought about that Britt Baker promo. Britt Baker, according to people in the chat room. Braun Breaker versus Britt Baker. There you go. What about Braun Baker? They could make him a baker. If it was the Vince McMahon era, they might actually go with that, but thankfully it's Triple H's time now. We had Ethan Page cutting a promo before his match, and dead crowd or what? Because he was like, is that the best reaction I get from you people? Like, he actually said that because there was like no reaction to him when he came out there. He said he's going to walk through Bandido and become the #1 contender. We had the match between Bandido, Ethan Page, eliminator tournament to determine who will face the world champion at Winter is Coming. Good match here. Bandido was working his ass off. He got his contract. He avoided the Ego's Edge, hit a moonsault to the floor. Match went back and forth for a while. Bandido did counter the avalanche Ego's Edge, hit a frog splash, but Page was able to kick out of that. But then Bandido got knocked off the ropes, clutched his knee, and then they were both on the top again, and Paige body slammed Bandido off the top and then hit a missile tackle off the top, then hit the Ego's Edge and got the 1-2-3 victory. Bandido worked very hard, did get the crowd into the match a little bit, but yeah, I feel bad for Ethan Page. Like, he usually gets great heat. Well, not this week. Bridgeport, Connecticut. Maybe they were a WWE crowd and they're like, we're going to go to AEW, but we really don't care. Not really sure what the deal was. It was also a small crowd too. So that's another problem with AEW is the diminishing returns with their return visits to cities. I think they had like another 3,000, 3,500 people this week. They've definitely been down in attendance. We then had Saraya Paige with her final promo for Saturday, said she's lucky to be back. She wants to be in AEW and she wants to beat the best. And she said she's sick of talking. She'll see Britt Baker at Full Gear. Short and sweet, not much else to say about it. We then had like at 9:35, so a little bit later than usual, but the usual pre-main event segment. The women get their match. Toni Storm versus Anna Jay. And yeah, this was a dead crowd. They did not care about this match. It was quiet. Anna Jay did get in some offense. She sent Storm into the steel steps, planted Storm on the floor, and then back in the ring, Storm made her comeback, hit the hip attack, put on a Texas cloverleaf, and Anna Jay instantly tapped out. And then after the match, Jamie Hayter stormed down to the ring to confront Storm. There was a face-off. Tony held up the title. Jamie shoved her and then left the ring. So that was that. I mean, it was okay, but yeah. Not really caring too much about the women's division, and AEW hasn't really given us much to look forward to, unfortunately. Then we had our final segment of the evening. Jon Moxley coming to the ring with William Regal for a promo. Moxley reminded people who the hell he is. He's the best professional wrestler on the planet. He talks shit. He backs it up. And you cannot hurt the guy because he literally doesn't care. On the other hand, Moxley asked, who is MJF? Moxley did some research. Moxley found out that MJF is a really good singer. I guess a reference to that Chris Jericho duet. Said that MJF is a guy with one win over the past 6 months. MJF was also in the worst ending to a ladder match that he's ever seen. Moxley said he's not exactly shaking in his boots. He is challenging MJF to show him something. Stokely Hathaway then arrived. The Firm jumped Jon Moxley. But then MJF's music hit. MJF made the save. Low blow to W. Morrissey, cleared the ring, and then got on the mic and said he did not save Moxley because he likes him. He does not want any excuses at Full Gear. MJF said he's not the same kid that Moxley fought 2 years ago at All Out. MJF said he needs the belt more than he needs food, more than he needs water, more than he needs oxygen. He said that, God damn it, it's his time. Moxley then got in his face and said that at Full Gear, the training wheels come off. And as Moxley was talking, he wasn't sure if Full Gear was Saturday or Sunday. I get it, force of habit. We're so used to the Sunday pay-per-views. I think Moxley's ready for a vacation. Don't know if that's a spoiler or not, but that's the vibe I get from this show. Moxley seems like he's ready to do the job and take a little break for a while. His vacation that he was promised. Building Nexus sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Says, only way Moxley wins is if he uses the Nux and him and Regal turn heel. That would surprise me. A Moxley heel turn would surprise me, but anything's possible, right? I'm hoping we get a clean finish. Like, I know we got the firm out there and whatnot, but I'm really hoping that whatever happens, it's a clean win. And I hope to see MJF get the title clean, beat Moxley clean, let Moxley take his time off, and MJF becomes the guy. Gomer Kyle sent in a $5 super chat, I guess on behalf of good old JM Jeff Meacham, says, shout out to the No DQ Galaxy, watching from Main Street, USA, ready for Mickey's B-Day and ready for Full Gear on Saturday. When is Mickey's B-Day? Mine's the 22nd. Does Mickey Mouse have the same birthday as me? That would be news to me, but maybe it's this week. In which case, I guess happy birthday to Mr. Mickey Mouse. Walter Cruz sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Walter. Says, Bridgeport is a WWE town for sure. I remember going when Jeff Hardy returned and Lita threw the WWE title into the harbor. That was a good crowd. Well, there you go. I mean, it's not too far from Stamford, right? It's like, I want to say a half hour to an hour. Correct me if I'm wrong, people in Connecticut. But I think it's pretty close to Stamford. Oh, Mickey's birthday is Friday the 18th. There you go. So happy early birthday to one Mickey Mouse. All in all, I thought that Dynamite was pretty decent, but could have been a better go-home show. I'm giving it a B-. Crowd was disappointing. I think the Elite should have been there in person. Final segment was very good, but it didn't necessarily like get the blood pumping. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to see this match on Saturday. Like, I'm still looking forward to it, but it did not have that exclamation point that I was really hoping for. I thought it was good, but not quite the home run segment I was hoping for. And the rest of the show was fine, but nothing too special. Hype for the pay-per-view. It's pretty good, but when this show was over, I wasn't feeling any more hyped up for Full Gear than I was going into Dynamite. And I think ultimately the goal of the go-home show is to really take it over the top and make you want it to be right now. And, it's Saturday. Cool. Saturday, I'll watch it, but I'm not like just dying to see it. If that makes any sense. I just feel like it could have been more impactful as far as the buildup goes. So that's Saturday night. And of course, I will be doing the live results coverage on NoDQ.com. So check that out. And then after the show, sometime after midnight, I will be back here on the channel to give my thoughts. And that's all for Dynamite. Thank you for watching the video. And remember, Thursday night, we got the No DQ review, SmackDown recap on Friday, and then Full Gear on Saturday night. And then Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, we will be doing Survivor Series predictions. We got a busy few weeks here towards the end of the year. And then it'll be pretty quiet for December. But yeah, end of November is going to be busy. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest. Get your merch at NoDQ.com/merch. And remember to say yes to NoDQ.com. And I will see you all next time.